Well, today we are celebrating all 50 of the ScholarShot graduates. And we can't wait. They're amazing. All have accomplished and overcome a lot to get to this moment. Our graduate speaker this afternoon, Guadalupe, exemplifies the grit and determination of the ScholarShot scholar. She is a hard worker, a go-getter. She's everything, and we are excited to see where the road takes her. So please help me welcome Guadalupe Mendoza.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Guadalupe Mendoza, and I just graduated with my Bachelor's of Science in Civil Engineering from Texas Tech University. My parents are Maria Isabel Mendoza and Jose Angel Mendoza. They immigrated here from Mexico in search of a better life for themselves and for me. From a young age, I watched them struggle financially, yet worked so hard to try to provide me with a lifestyle that they were not granted growing up. Neither of my parents were able to receive an education above 6th grade due to poverty and societal norms. However, they ensured that that would not be my story. They always instilled in me the importance of an education, and as I grew up, I realized how much they were right. My education was the key to ensure a better future for myself and my family. Once that realization clicked in my head, I poured every bit of me into my studies. And although I was not very sure how I was going to get there and what profession I wanted to pursue, I knew that I needed to receive a higher education. Before my junior year of high school, my mom was diagnosed with epilepsy and an ovarian tumor, forcing her to stop working while my dad took on extra hours to try to support us. During one of the hardest financial and emotional times in my life, I balanced school and caretaking while pushing myself academically to secure scholarships for college. Once solidifying my passion for mathematics and discovering my passion for helping others through pursuing civil engineering, I committed to Texas Tech University due to a strong academic program and financial support. Once I graduated high school, I worked all summer to buy some of the essentials for my dorm and saved as much money as I could for the upcoming school year. However, the financial gap was still extremely prevalent, and I knew I was going to have to work during the school year. When I got to Texas Tech, I immediately felt very lost. I was not sure how I was going to navigate an environment so different than what I grew up in. I felt completely disconnected from my culture, and as I looked around and did not see many people that looked like me, I felt completely out of place. I began to question if I even belonged in these spaces. I was working 2 jobs and I was a dual major, barely keeping myself afloat. I was absolutely terrified that I would not be able to come back the following school year due to financial circumstances. I was applying to every scholarship I could find, and one day, my dad called me after watching a segment on the news of a scholarship opportunity for first-generation students. That is when I found ScholarShot. I did research on the organization and I applied within the week. I was so anxious that I would not be able to continue my education as a result of my financial situation that my grades began to deteriorate and my whole purpose returned to just surviving. As my spring semester was coming to an end, I began losing hope in my ability to continue school. That is when I received an email from ScholarShot letting me know that I was selected as a scholar for the upcoming school year. I remember seeing that email and I immediately began breaking down in tears because I reached a point where I did not think I was going to make it any further in my education. As the semester finalized, I received more scholarship notifications for the upcoming school year and got 90% of all of my sophomore year covered in scholarships. I began that year in a much better place financially and was able to focus much more on my classes, so much so that I made Dean's List for the first time. At this point in my life, I was applying to study abroad programs and scholarships to fulfill my study abroad requirement, excited about a whole new adventure. However, in February of 2022, I fell extremely ill. I was constantly at the doctor's office and began falling behind in my classes. I thought I had found a good community of people and quickly realized that that was not true. I had to move out of my apartment and start from scratch in my search for a community, all while navigating illness and trying to keep up with school and scholarship applications. Around this time is when Dahlia took over as my academic manager. I was not doing great mentally and in a very rough spot academically. She never once made me feel like I could not confide in her, and she encouraged me every step of the way. Dahlia became a person I could trust when I felt like I had no one. She helped me navigate my emotions and get the help I needed academically and personally to succeed. Towards the end of that semester, I obtained over $12,000 in scholarships and was able to cover my entire summer abroad in Seville, Spain. I earned the title of Benjamin A. Gilman International Scholar, and during that summer abroad, I was also granted the designation of Hispanic Scholarship Fund Scholar. During my junior year, I began doing research in transportation engineering and found my way back to myself. I joined organizations that I actually enjoyed, and I met my very best friend. I was able to secure an internship in the world's leading geotechnical design firm for the summer, and obtained scholarships from Tech, the Society of Women Engineers, and the Deep Foundation Institute to cover all of my senior year of college. Now, in my senior year, I have finally found my place at Texas Tech. I am an active member in the American Society of Civil Engineers Concrete Canoe Team. I am president of the Civil Engineering Honor Society, and I am a part of the Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers. I'm actively doing research in arid land studies and water consumption across the world, and did research in offshore windmill foundation design. I have formed relationships with people that understand me and the struggles that come with being a first-gen low-income minority woman. I finally feel completely and utterly seen, and I know exactly who I am and just how much I belong in every room I step in. I have survived more than most, but I'm still here and will continue to pave the way for women like me in the field of civil engineering. Next fall, I will begin my Master's in Civil Engineering program at the University of California, Berkeley, where I will focus on geosystems design with an amazing fellowship offer. Never in my life did I think I would have such an opportunity, nor that an institution of such prestige would do so much to ensure I would commit to their program. After reading my admissions essays and learning more about my story, one of the professors at Berkeley nominated me for a full tuition fellowship of $50,000. I was then invited to tour the school with all expenses covered, where I received my official fellowship offer. At this point in time, I was still on the fence about attending Berkeley, solely based on cost of living, which created a large financial aid gap for me. Once I expressed this concern to that very same professor, she offered me $10,000 more, leaving a financial aid gap that I believe I can bridge by working and with external scholarships. Seeing that confetti pop up in my admissions portal to the #1 civil engineering graduate program in the country, and realizing how large of a fellowship I was being offered, validated every single one of my sacrifices and how much I have truly done the past 4 years. It honestly still does not seem real. When I first began college, I was unsure of my ability to succeed, and I had no clue how I was going to survive financially. ScholarShot gave me an opportunity and resources that pushed me to keep going in some of the most challenging years of my life. I truly do not think that without the support of ScholarShot and Dahlia that I would be here speaking to you all today. To our donors, thank you for providing the support needed to help students like me. Without you, my trajectory would have been a lot different. What you all do is absolutely amazing. The impact you have changes lives for the better. It relieves stress, creates motivation, and breaks generational barriers. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to focus more on my studies, networking, and research opportunities, instead of just focusing on surviving. Your support creates a long-lasting impact that will continue helping other scholars like myself. Para mis padres, gracias por todo el amor y el apoyo que me han dado. Este título y el futuro que me espera es prueba de que todo su sacrificio valió la pena. Lo logramos. To my parents, thank you for all the love and support you have given me. This diploma and the future that awaits me are a testament that all your sacrifices were worth it. We did it.